Hello everyone, this is Ildiko here with another 6x6 mixed media journal page. This is created for the Artful Evidence Facebook group challenge that is run by Rachel Black. Her YouTube channel is Rach0113 and the Facebook group also is named Artful Evidence, just like her blog. You will find links to both of these in the description box below the video. Don't forget to check those out. This is week 4 and the challenge theme is coffee or tea. And I started this page by stamping this flourish design many times on this journal page. And I am embossing with white embossing powder. This is what came to my mind after thinking about coffee. That when you look at the coffee's theme and you can just zone out for a second and even dream a little bit in the morning. That's why I picked from the dictionary 2 words, the drink and the dream, from the same page as the title of this journal page. After I finally finish embossing the flourish in the background, I select many different brown shades of distress inks. Mostly I use tea dye and rusty hinge, and I think a little bit of gathered twigs. And I colorize the background, but only on the bottom section of the page. And I dry the page and put more color in it, dry a page, put more color in it. And I love how the whole background at the end looks like actually the spilled coffee. When that one is done, I add the second color on the top of the picture. I use 2 shades of pink distress inks, sponge sugar, and warm lipstick. Mostly the warm lipstick is going to dominate the page since it's a stronger color. When that was done, I added stamping around the edges of the journal page using the distressing tea dye color and a Prima Finnabair stamp. It's one of my favorite cursive stamps at this moment. When the background was finished, or mostly was finished, I focused on creating a cup. I used foil tape that you can pick up at the hardware store, cut out a mug shape and added a handle to it too. And now I'm working on choosing the words for the page, the title, the drink and dream. And I'm trying to create an arrangement where I balance the composition of the flourishes, because I do think that the flourishes are a little bit out of balance, and I think I can bring the composition back a little bit with placing the words in the right spot. Then I adhered the shapes that I cut out for the mug, the base and the handle separate. And then it was time to add a little table or a surface under the mug. I used a water-soluble graphite pencil, and then I activated the marks that I made. I added a little shading and some marks on the table. Then I added more stamping with a different Prima stamp to make the table look a little bit more distressed. If you look at the finished project, you will see that I used one more stamp on the project on the 2 edges of the page, and unfortunately I could not record that part, but those are going to be the 3 stamps altogether that I used in this project for background stamping. At this moment you are watching how I added some shading around the mug, under the mug, and then I decided that I needed to bring out the steam a little bit more from the background, because it was such a light color right in the middle, it needed a little bit more contrast. So I used a billow and a water tank brush, and I add a little shading under the flourishes, and then basically this part of the project was finished. I only added a few more steps after the shading was done, and some of them were not recorded. Mostly it was edging the whole journal page with black StazOnning and gluing down the words. And one more thing is missing from the end of the project is how I try to balance the silver color by gluing down chunky silver glitter pieces. Before I came to that point, though, I had to work with balancing the darks. I had to bring out the table pattern, the wood grain pattern more, and I needed some black splattering done. And to make sure that the table stood apart from the background, I added some white highlights right above it with the pit pen and the water tank brush. But that's the end of the project. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.